So this minor scale is our second scale of many that we'll end up with. We're going to end up with roughly 21 scales at the end of this. But number 2 is always the minor scale, because you have to realize that music is not always in a major key, and the minor scale will open up the minor key, which gives us a whole dynamic color shift in music. And a lot of music is written in a minor key, and we have to understand it right from the get-go. And it's a totally different sound. It's the sound of major versus minor. One note different there in our chords. It's really just the major third becomes minor, and that is the color shift in Western music, that one note. The major third descending by a half step to a minor third creates such a different, more dark perspective within the music. Major tends to be very peppy and happy sounding, and minor is a little more morose and gloomy sounding, but that is the color shift in Western music. So it's so common and so widely used, it's called the relative minor. And in fact, every major scale has a minor scale counterpart. If you're thinking key signatures, going back to the key of no sharps, no flats, C major, it is also A minor. You always have a major scale married to a minor scale. The major starts on 1, the minor starts on 6. The key of 1 flat was F, it's also D minor. You can find that right away on the matrix. Just going from F over to the 6th column, you're going to find D. That's the starting point for your relative minor in the key of 1 flat. The key of 1 sharp is G, the relative minor is E. So that key signature, 1 sharp, is really 2 scales, G major and E minor, the relatives. Relative minor and relative major, sharing 1 key signature. Okay, so again the pattern. I'll go to C minor, which is the relative minor in the key of 3 flats. E flat major is the relative major to C minor. So we're starting here on C minor, and I'll play the pattern again with the degree numbers. 1, 2, flat 3, because 3 was dropped by a half step, so it's now flat 3. 4, 5, flat 6, because 6 was dropped by a half step. Flat 7, because 7 was dropped by a half step. If you look at the diagram, you'll see the patterns dropped a half step in those position slots. And then back to 1. Backwards, 1, flat 7, flat 6, 5, 4, flat 3, 2, 1. Now since we're already at C, let's just add the letter names, which you'll do after a few days of playing this homework that I'll assign. Letter names for C, natural minor, another name for relative minor. C, D, E flat stands to reason. Flatted third, if the third was E, the flatted third is E flat. F, G, A flat, again, if natural 6 was A, flatted 6 is A flat. B flat, if natural 7 is B, flatted 7 is B flat. Back to C. Backwards, C, B flat, A flat, G, F, E flat, D.